from the radical left. They're now clinging to their one piece of manna from heaven, a story about a high-level White House group chat on the encrypted messaging app called Signal, which is a complete joke coming from the very people who approve the app, the use of the app, and intentionally leak materials to journalists all the time. By the way, let me warn Democrats, there is information that will be coming your way very soon to show what utter, complete, phony hypocrites that you are. Just stay tuned. We're on the case. But we get it. Far left, Trump-hating journalist Jeffrey Goldberg was somehow accidentally included on the group chat as cabinet-level officials discussed possible military strikes in Yemen. But let's be very clear. There was no classified material revealed in those texts. Caroline Leavitt made the proper distinction. There is a difference between, quote, sensitive policy discussions and, quote, classified information. Did the administration want Jeffrey Goldberg included on that high-level group chat? Of course not. It was an unfortunate, inadvertent, one-off error to accidentally include a reporter on that text chain. But as reported, steps have already been taken to prevent this from ever happening in the future. But you got to put things into perspective. The mission in Yemen was operationally a complete success. It can't get any more successful. And as President Trump has been pointing out, the left's current bout of hysteria is ridiculous. It's hypocritical. It's dishonest. In other words, just a typical day for Democrats. Take a look.
I think it's all a witch hunt. That's all. I think it's a witch hunt. I wasn't involved with it. I wasn't there. But I can tell you the result is unbelievable because the Houthis are looking to do something. They want to know, how do we stop? How do we stop? Can we have peace? The Houthis want peace because they're getting the hell knocked out of them. It's been very, very strong. The Houthis are dying for peace. They don't want this. And they're bad. Look, they were knocking ships out of the ocean. You know, we had in the Suez Canal, they only have about 20% of the ships going through. They have to go through a different way, which takes weeks of travel. And that really affects commerce. But the Houthis have been hit hard, and they want to negotiate peace.
Why focus on the successful military operation when you can trash Donald Trump and people that work for him? President Trump is right. The Democratic Party, they're at it again with the legacy media, state-run media's help, of course. On X, the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, he described it this way. It's actually perfect. So let me get this straight. The Atlantic released the so-called war plans, and those plans include no names, no targets, no locations, no units, no routes, no sources, no methods, no classified information. Those are some really, wow, bleep war plans. Hegseth continued, we will continue to do our job while the media does what it does best, peddle hoaxes. And as per usual, like most other Democratic smears, this current obsession ultimately involved Russia and Vladimir Putin. Look at the headline from CBS, quote, as top Trump aides sent text on Signal, flight data shows a member of the group chat was in Russia. President Trump's Ukraine and Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, who's been on this program many times, friend of the program, he was in Russia negotiating peace with Vladimir Putin. But guess what? He left his phone at home. He brought a burner phone, as was given to him by the government. He didn't have access to the Signal group chat. Whoopsie daisy. They got it wrong yet again. Another fake, phony controversy. But some on the left are also taking this as an opportunity to go after everybody in the administration. In the case of Witkoff, his job as a negotiator, even taking his comments about Hamas completely, utterly out of context. Here is what Steve Witkoff actually said. Take a look.
I thought we had a deal, an acceptable deal. I even thought we had an approval from Hamas. Maybe that's just me getting duped. But I thought we were there, and evidently we weren't. So this is on Hamas. The United States stands with the state of Israel. There's just that's a 100% commitment, and we've expressed that. Would we be amenable to a reach out from Hamas? Of course we would be. No different than in the Russian conflict. We want to end the killing. But we need to be clear who the aggressor is here, and that is Hamas.
And then he went on to describe Hamas in another interview as nothing but a bunch of murdering terrorist thugs. Interesting how the media took that part out of it and he slammed Hamas as a group of murdering terrorists. Forget that part. And if in the middle of trying to negotiate peace in Europe and the Middle East, if God forbid Steve Witkoff doesn't scream at them, you're a murderer, you're a Nazi, you're a killer, well, they think he's not negotiating. Happens to be a great negotiator. And if he ever did something that stupid, there would be no negotiation and there'd never be a negotiated settlement. How dumb are some of these people? You go into a negotiation, call them you're a Nazi, you're a murderer, you're a thug. Joe Biden never talked peace with Putin one time. Now, he called him a lot of names. Putin didn't care. He still went into Ukraine. Joe spent hundreds of billions of your dollars. And guess what? Donald Trump is working for peace. Steve Witkoff is working hard on a peace plan and making more progress in a few short weeks than anyone in the Biden White House achieved in 4 long years. So make no mistake, the hysteria on the left is just feigned. It is phony moral outrage. They don't really care about this issue. If they did, they would have screamed bloody murder about the open borders that allowed in, terrorists, murderers, rapists, gang members, cartel members, all the people that Donald Trump is trying to kick out, that they're trying to protect and allow to stay in. This isn't Watergate. This isn't Goldberggate. It's certainly not Abbeygate. And it doesn't even begin to rise to the security risks presented by a president in full cognitive decline, and everybody knew it. And yet the legacy media mob, the Democratic Party, were not just unconcerned with the president's mental state because they knew what it was. They just lied about it for years in an effort to cover it up. Shall we remind you? Let's take a look.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
President Biden has a photographic memory.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Joe Biden doesn't have any concerns about his mental fitness, and nor do I. I've spent an incredible amount of time with Joe Biden. That's just the fade that the other side is pushing.
He's fine. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith.
It's very clearly a cognitive decline. Okay. That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You are
to
no
watch somebody on stage
It's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter.
Mocking his stutter? No, it was obvious for anybody with eyes to see. He was in a steep cognitive decline, which is a clear and present danger to the country, which, as commander-in-chief, is a threat to our nation, which they all knew about and they all lied about. The same people also lied about the biggest preventable national security crisis in the history of our country. That is Joe's wide open borders. Take a look.
Our efforts to secure the border, southern border, is working.
It is my testimony that the border is secure.
No doubt about it. Our border is secure.
Sounds to most folks like a crisis.
Well, look, it's way down now. We've now gotten control.
Precisely that. The border is closed. Nor could I have been clearer and continue to be so, which is the border is closed.
You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We agree that the border is secure.
And now we're supposed to believe that those very people and the people in the state-run legacy media mob actually care about national security. For 4 long years, they lied, they covered up Biden's border crisis or challenged these lies. They never challenged anything. But now they want you to believe that their nonstop hysteria about an inadvertent, one-off text exchange surrounding a successful strike in Yemen without any details, without it being, top secret, is somehow genuine. In reality, just another baseless political smear. If it wasn't so serious, it actually is funny. It's entertaining. how pathetic they are from a party that is barely clinging to relevance at this point, living very comfortably in their 20% approval range. And as per usual, this was followed by a lawsuit, a left-wing group named American Oversight, and now suing Trump officials for allegedly violating the Federal Records Act. And wouldn't you know it? What a piece of good luck. The very same Obama-appointed judge who tried to block Trump's deportation flights to El Salvador midair, turn around and come back, will also oversee this lawsuit. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.